Did you know you could adjust the crotch from both ends? I want to cover this because this was a common question that I had in my recent pants fitting classes that I've taught over the past month and a half. And I just want to give you a really good explanation for how to change the rise of your pants pattern, how to adjust the position of the waistband for your pants pattern, how to make more room if you are trying to sit down but the back is sliding, when you sit. And I think this will be really helpful, and especially if you're new to pants fitting. I want to just cover this one issue today to clear this up for you, and I think it will help you in your pants fitting. So the first thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to cut off my front inseam on this leg so I can tape them together or position them together like this. And if you guys follow along with me, I'm in love with my removable or repositionable Scotch tape. I'm going to put that there, and then I can take it back off and use it again later. So right now they're together, and I'm going to highlight two parts of the crotch. Okay, the first part is this part right here, and I'm highlighting it in blue, and I'm going to make it big. Okay, so you can see. So this area right here, I want you to think of this blue zone of your crotch as the seat of a chair. Okay, and then this portion here is the back of the chair. So I'm just making it really bold so you can see. All right, so you've got two sections on your crotch. Now the seat of the chair does progress into the front. This is your crotch, this is the seat, this is the back of the chair, right back here. So it's important to know these two sections of the crotch and understand what adjusting them will do for you. So let's start with the green part, or the back of the chair. Now, when you sit back in a chair, right, you will notice if that back gets higher, right, it's changing the position of where the end of the chair is on your body, right? So if I sit back like this, and you can see, I'm going to turn here. So see where the back of my chair is? That's the top of the rise of the back of my chair. So if I wanted to make that higher, I would adjust in this green area. Okay, so if I needed the back to be higher or lower, I would make that change in this green area. And a lot of times the easiest way to do that is to just extend it from the top. So let's say I needed my back rise to be an inch, let's say an inch higher. And I'm just going to use some of my permanent Scotch Magic tape to tape this little piece of paper on so I have more room. And what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to raise my rise, right? So like this. And I'm going to do it in black first. All right, so let's raise that 1 inch, let's say. So notice I'm following the line of the back crotch. So I've raised it, and then I would, come over here and I would lower it. Now, this is dramatic because this is a half scale. Notice I'm not ending it right here at the side seam, because you want an L-shaped or 90-degree angle, so when you go to the front you don't create a V here. Okay, so I would sort of end it early, maybe even make it a little bit curved. But this whole green section now, this part right here, you can see that's raising the position of your waistband, right? What if you sit down in your pants and they slide down? You might think to yourself, ooh, I could just make this higher and then it won't slide down. Well, it will make it higher, but it will still slide down because it's not fixing the problem. The problem for a back leg sliding, or the center back sliding, is you don't have enough inside space to sit down. So that's when you would need to be adjusting in this blue area. okay, or you need a wider seat. So I want you to think of seat as depth in your pants pattern, and the back of the chair as rise. Okay, they work together. They both contribute to the overall rise of your crotch, but these two areas do a different thing. So if I wanted more sitting room, what I would do is I would actually start in the green area, or the chair back area, because I don't want to just scoop in this blue area. I would start somewhere halfway up, and right where the green or the chair back stops and it starts to curve, I want to pay attention to that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start here. I'm going to dig a little bit away, okay, and when I get to here where it starts to curve, that's when I will start to mirror the image of my curve or the shape to make a deeper hole to sit in, essentially. Now, depending on what else is going on, you can either meet that back up at the inseam, which is right here, or you could keep going through, right, to make a smooth transition. But the whole goal here is to maintain this depth. Okay, so maintaining the depth is super important. But you can see now, this whole blue area I'm going to color in. This is what you're going to trim off your pattern. Okay, so you can see, I think, and if you don't, put a comment in the, comment under this video if you don't understand this. But this blue area here that I'm going to cut off is actually digging a deeper hole to sit. Because if I get rid of that, and I'm just going to go ahead and do it so you can see, if I get rid of this, right, and I'm just going to go straight up like this, okay, you can see now, okay, I've made a deeper hole because I've gotten rid of all of that blue. All right, so that is, okay, so that illustrates what the blue section does. The other thing the blue section does, and I'm going to go ahead and just redraw my blue right here. Okay, here's my blue. Let's pretend I haven't done anything to this pattern yet. Here's my blue. Here's my green. Right? Okay. The other thing that comes into play here is if you need more depth, but you don't need to dig down, okay? And this is where I want to release my front, okay? So like, let's say now you need a bigger seat to sit in. You have two options. If you already have enough ease, and I'm just going to draw a black line right here. This is your upper thigh. So if you were to, just going to get one over here. So about 1.5 inches down or so, if you were to measure across both of your upper thighs here and here, add them together and get rid of the seam allowances, that's going to tell you what the measurement is. You can compare it to your upper thigh measurement if you haven't started making a muslin yet to see how much ease you're going to have. But if you've already sewn a muslin, then you know whether or not you have enough ease up here on the top of your leg. So let's say it's a little snug here and you need a little bit more ease. Then the easy thing to do would be to extend the crotch. I'm just going to extend it out like this, and then, join it back at the knee. So you're adding some depth right here, right? So this actually would be blue, but basically all of this black that I'm coloring in now, my blue is starting to die, so I'm using black, switching. This, you're adding extra to add to the depth. So if I put this back together now, okay, you can see we've added this much to the depth, and we've added this much to the top of the thigh. That's perfect if you need more ease at the thigh. But if you already have enough ease, or if you have too much ease, then doing this is not the thing to do. So I'm going to just cut that back off. Okay. So what you're going to want to do instead, and I can put this back on actually, what you're going to want to do instead is you're going to want to extend the depth back here. So what you would do is you would literally come out past where it starts to curve, and then join back up like this, and then eventually get back up here like this. Okay, so you're adding the extra here instead of at the tip, and it's not changing your upper thigh, which is kind of cool. But we are, let me just use this one more time and I'm going to throw it away because you can see this color is dying on me. Okay, so all of this will get cut off, but notice you are also changing the ease across your body. So you're digging a deeper hole. You're making a deeper depth here by lengthening it here. So if I cut this off now, you can see. So see how you've basically added this much more to your depth to make it wider without changing the ease on the leg. However, this might need to go over here like this, because the straightaway section here is now narrower, right? You trim some off here. So what you may need to then do, I'm going to do it in black because my blue is dying, is start over here and just gradually add what you took away, right? And then you can very gradually blend back in over here like this. So you're plussing it over here while you minus it over here. Okay, so I just wanted to share these little things with you because if you understand that adjusting here will raise the rise, here will dig a deeper hole or make it wider for your body. Now, having said all of that, here's the funny thing, and this is why we love pants fitting. When you scoop down lower, you may be able to pull it up higher, which may also adjust the position of your rise. So my recommendation to you is make sure you get this seat situation figured out first. Okay, so make sure you have enough depth, you have a deep enough hole to sit in before you finalize the position of the waist, because anything you're doing here is going to affect what's happening at the waistline, because you may be able to pull it up higher. So I hope you enjoyed this little review of how to adjust the crotch, either along the chair back, the straight part, or the seat, the curved part, or the base of the crotch. If you have any questions or comments, please post those below and I will help you. If you're enjoying my content, consider liking and subscribing to my channel because it helps me grow. And I hope everyone has a wonderful rest of their day. Thanks for watching.